Newcastle has given us 500 million to spend, but they have told us that we have to complete 3 main objectives: win the Premier League, win the Domestic Cup, and win the Champions League in only one season. If we fail, we're fired. So this is our team, but we need to make changes, especially in the defense and in the attack. And we have plenty of money to buy top class players. So let's start. Our first signing's a big one, and it's Saka from Arsenal, becoming our new right winger. We're also improving the midfield with a young superstar Pedri from Barcelona. And to improve the midfield even more, we bought Kimmich from Bayern. Now for our new left back, we got Nuno Mendes from PSG. To reinforce the defense, we got an experienced player, John Stones. And finally, our last signing, a huge prospect from Real Madrid, Arda Güler. So this is our new team. And of course, we kept some of the original players so that it would be a bit more realistic. But other than that, our starting 11 is looking real good. And we also got good super subs in case we need them. I feel this team can actually have the potential to be bigger clubs and win major trophies. So let's start the season. Our first games in the league are tough, having to face Aston Villa, Liverpool, and Manchester City. But I believe in this team, so I think we're gonna be just fine. But for things to go faster, and so we have no impact in the results, we're gonna be simulating until the end of the season. So see y'all there. It's finally June, meaning that the season's officially over. So let's go see how we did in the competitions we played in. In the Premier League, we ended up being 5th with 20 wins, 7 draws, and 11 losses, and a total of 67 points. So sadly, we didn't win the Premier League, but we did qualify to European football next season. So low-key, that's a W. In the FA Cup, Arsenal beat Liverpool 2-3 to become champions. We ended up being eliminated early on against Barnsley, a 3rd division team. Now that's disappointing. Hopefully we come back from this in the Carabao Cup. And we don't. Liverpool are champions, beating Norwich in the final. This time we were eliminated in their quarterfinals against the finalists, Norwich, in penalties. A cruel way to go out, and a club I feel we could have beaten. And at the moment, to revive this trophyless season, we expect a Champions League win. And it's not. Bayern beat Barcelona to become the kings of Europe for the 7th time. In our group of death, we surprisingly ended up first, tied in points with PSG. Milan went to Europa League, and Dortmund were eliminated from all European competitions. In the round of 16, we were eliminated, losing against Napoli in aggregate 2-4, crushing our dreams early on. So now that we saw how poor we did in all the competitions we played in, let's go see how our players performed throughout the season. The top scorer of the Premier League is Haaland with 27 goals. We do see 2 of our players, Saka in 7th with 17 goals, and Isak in 14th with 14 goals. So happy to see that they made it to the top 15. Now for the most assists, it goes to Liverpool's Darwin Núñez with 15. This time we see one of our players in the top 15, that being Pedri in 5th with 8 assists. Finally, the award for the most clean sheets goes to Alisson with 13. And even though we lost a decent amount of games, our goalkeeper Pope ended up being 3rd with 9 clean sheets. So that's a W. So now that we saw how our players perform in the league, let's go see who was the best out of the signings we did in the beginning of the season. And that was Saka, with a +2 in his overall rating, and with 45 games played, 21 goals scored, and 7 assists in all competitions. So we made a pretty good signing. We also gotta give some credit to Pedri, who played 43 games, scored 8 goals, made 10 assists, and had a +1 in his rating, as our midfielder. So happy to see that. But who didn't perform as well as I thought was our super sub Güler, who only played 1 game, scored 0 goals, and made 0 assists. Now that's crazy. I guess the manager just didn't play him. Kimmich, on the other hand, had a pretty good season with decent stats, same as Nuno Mendes and John Stones. To be honest, their stats aren't the best, but it doesn't mean that they didn't help out. It's just because they had a more defensive role in the team. Though I am curious to see who was the best out of the original players we already had. And of course, that was Isak, our main striker with 19 goals and 5 assists in all competitions. Though I did expect the stats to be a bit better, main reason being because he had top players around him, but it is what it is. Now finally, because we failed all of the objectives, our contract got terminated. I can't believe it, especially because we built a solid team, but our players just didn't connect as well as I thought they would. So that being said, let me know in the comments below what I could have done better. So of course, this is our last FC24 career mode video, because in the 20th of September, FC25 comes out, and expect better and newer uploads. So see y'all there. Peace.